The villagers of Willowden Green took great pride in their village. They were proud of the cobbled streets lined with beautiful bunting and bright hanging baskets. They were proud of the pretty thatched cottages and freshly varnished picket fences. And they were most definitely proud of the straight striped lawns and carefully tended allotments. But there was one thing that the villagers of Willowden Green had always been most proud of, and that was being the home of Maclay's Jam, the most inventive jam factory in the world. Of course, the factory was a bit unusual. Some might even say weird. But then it had to be a bit weird to come up with all of those incredible jam flavours and inventions, like jumping juniper jelly jam trainers, better than the bounciest pogo stick, or jam paint, enjoy a nibble while you create a masterpiece, or parpberry jam, never fail to fill a room with sniggers. Being different was okay. Maclay's Jam might be a bit weird, but it was their weird, and that was all right with them. At least, that's how they used to feel. Lately, and some might whisper that it was ever since that alien had crashed through their window, Maclay's Jam had gone from being a bit weird to being damn right out of control. Mayor Green slammed his fist onto the stack of newspapers on his desk, which were filled with stories about the jam factory. Chief inventor Scooter Maclay gazed at the stack of newspapers and grimaced. Today's paper had apparently been the final straw for Mayor Green. One phone call later, and Scooter was here, attending an urgent meeting at the mayor's office with his parents and his friends to discuss things. Scooter had to admit there had been a lot of hiccups recently. He knew exactly why. It was all to do with his best friend Fizzbee, a tiny round orange alien. When Fizzbee had first crash-landed at Maclay's Jam Factory, she'd brought with her a suitcase of her own inventions that could do almost anything. Fizzbee and Scooter had soon become best friends, and, together, they had made the most out-of-this-world jams. But, of course, word of the new recipes had spread like jam on toast, and people had started asking why only Scooter and his friends were able to enjoy them. Scooter agreed that it didn't seem entirely fair, so he had convinced his parents to let him and Fizzbee develop the alien-inspired jam range, a line of jams infused with Fizzbee's incredible ingredients that everyone could enjoy. It had taken a lot of persuading, but his parents had finally relented on the condition that the jams underwent a rigorous testing procedure, including a trial in the village of Willowden Green. Scooter and Fizzbee had decided to start with some of their favourite recipes. They spent a long time perfecting and testing them until they were certain they were ready for the villagers to try. And that was when everything had started to go wrong. It began with rotten cabbage fertilizer jam spray. Spray your plants once a month for increased growth, not for eating. Knowing how much the villagers loved their gardens, Scooter had been sure that this would be a fantastic, risk-free way to launch Fizzbee's new range. Except, with the annual Willowden Green vegetable competition coming up, some of the villagers had poured entire bottles of the stuff onto their vegetable patches. Within hours, the alien-inspired jam range had been splashed across every local newspaper, and not in a good way. Giant alien vegetables overrun village. What has Fizzbee been doing? Alien-inspired or alien vegetable invasion? Next came night vision carrot jam. 1 teaspoon equals 1 hour of night vision. Except night vision carrot jam leads to a spate of burglaries. Carrot jam aids crooks. What was Fizzbee thinking? Should an alien be allowed to make jam? Who really is Fizzbee? But it was their most recent jam trial that had led to the most problems. Fizzbee's floating fig jam. Eat 1 teaspoon and float 3 centimetres from the ground. Scooter looked out of the window as a young girl bobbed past, tied to a piece of string like a balloon, her dad tugging her along.